The rain was coming down in sheets as I stared out the window of my Seattle apartment, the Space Needle barely visible through the downpour. I'm Quentin, 43, and until recently I thought I had it all. A good job as a software architect, a comfortable life, and a wife, Nadine, whom I adored. Nadine was a vibrant, energetic woman, a kindergarten teacher with a passion for her kids. We'd been married for 15 years, and while the spark wasn't always as fiery as it once was, I believed we had a solid, loving relationship built on mutual respect and shared dreams. Or so I thought. The first crack in the facade appeared subtly. Nadine started staying late at school more often, claiming she had extra work or meetings. Initially, I didn't think much of it. Teachers are often overworked, and I trusted her implicitly. But then came the odd phone calls, the hushed tones when she thought I wasn't listening, the way she'd quickly change the subject if I entered the room. One evening, about 6 months ago, I was working from home when Nadine received a text. I wasn't trying to snoop, but the message popped up on her phone as she was walking past, and I couldn't help but see the sender's name. Gareth. The message read, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow night. Thinking of you, a knot formed in my stomach." Gareth, who was Gareth? I racked my brain trying to think of anyone in Nadine's life with that name. I couldn't place it. "Who's Gareth?" I asked casually when she came back into the room. Nadine's eyes flickered for a moment and she hesitated before answering. "Oh, he's just a parent. One of the kids in my class. He's helping organize the school fundraiser." Her explanation sounded plausible, but something felt off. I couldn't shake the feeling that she was hiding something. Over the next few weeks, the Gareth texts continued, each one sending a fresh wave of anxiety through me. I started paying closer attention to Nadine's behavior, noticing the little things I'd previously overlooked. The way she'd dress up more on certain days, the new perfume she'd started wearing, the way she'd avoid my gaze when I asked about her day. One Saturday, Nadine told me she was going to a teacher's workshop downtown. I offered to drive her, but she insisted on taking the bus, saying she wanted to catch up on some reading. I felt a pang of disappointment, but I didn't push it. As soon as she left, I couldn't resist the urge to investigate. I knew it was wrong, a violation of her privacy, but the suspicion had become unbearable. I went to her laptop, which she'd left open on the kitchen table. I hesitated for a moment, then typed in her password a combination of our anniversary date and our dog's name. I went straight to her email. There it was, a thread of messages with Gareth. My heart pounded in my chest as I clicked on the first email. It was a love letter, filled with intimate details and promises of a future together. My world began to spin. I scrolled through the emails, each one a dagger twisting in my gut. They had been having an affair for months, meeting in secret, exchanging passionate messages, planning a life without me. The room seemed to shrink around me, the air thick with betrayal. I felt a wave of nausea and I stumbled to the bathroom where I vomited into the toilet. When I finally composed myself, I knew I couldn't confront Nadine right away. I needed to gather my thoughts to process what I had learned. I decided to follow her, to see for myself what she was really doing. I grabbed my keys and headed out the door, my hands shaking. I drove downtown, parked a few blocks from the conference center where Nadine was supposedly attending her workshop, and waited. An hour passed, then another. I saw teachers entering and leaving the building, but no Nadine. Just as I was about to give up, I saw her. She was walking hand in hand with a man I now knew was Gareth. They weren't heading towards the conference center. They were walking in the opposite direction, towards a small Italian restaurant a few blocks away. I followed them, my heart pounding in my chest. I watched as they entered the restaurant, found a table in a secluded corner, and began to laugh and talk, their faces glowing with affection. I couldn't take it anymore. I stormed into the restaurant, my eyes fixed on Nadine. She looked up, her face draining of color as she saw me. "Quentin," she gasped, her voice barely a whisper. "Who is this Nadine?" I asked, my voice trembling with rage. She hesitated, then stammered, This is Gareth. He's a friend." "A friend?" I roared, my voice echoing through the restaurant. "Is that what you call someone you're having an affair with?" The other diners turned to stare, their faces a mixture of shock and curiosity. Gareth looked uncomfortable, shifting in his seat. "Quentin, please," Nadine pleaded, her eyes filled with tears. Let's talk about this somewhere else. No, I said, my voice cold and hard. We're going to talk about it right here, right now. I know everything, Nadine. I read your emails. I saw you holding hands. Don't insult my intelligence by trying to deny it. Nadine burst into tears, burying her face in her hands. Gareth stood up, his face flushed. Look, he began, but I cut him off. You stay out of this, I said, my eyes narrowing. This is between me and my wife. I turned back to Nadine, my voice filled with pain. How could you do this to me, Nadine? How could you betray me like this? I loved you, I trusted you. She looked up at me, her face streaked with tears. I'm so sorry, Quentin, she sobbed. I don't know what to say, it just happened, I repeated, my voice incredulous. You planned this, Nadine. You lied to me. You cheated on me. It didn't just happen. I turned and walked out of the restaurant, leaving Nadine and Gareth to face the consequences of their actions. I drove home in a daze, my mind reeling from the betrayal. I couldn't believe that the woman I had loved and trusted for so many years was capable of such deceit. The next few weeks were a blur of lawyers, divorce papers, and bitter arguments. Nadine tried to apologize, to explain her actions, but I couldn't bring myself to forgive her. The trust was gone, shattered beyond repair. I moved out of our apartment and into a small condo downtown. I threw myself into my work, trying to distract myself from the pain. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't escape the memories of Nadine, the woman I thought I knew, the woman who had betrayed me in the worst possible way. About a month after the divorce was finalized, I received a phone call from an unfamiliar number. I hesitated before answering, but curiosity got the better of me. Hello, I said. Quentin, it's Gareth, the voice on the other end said. My blood ran cold. What do you want? I asked, my voice tight with anger. I wanted to apologize, Gareth said. I know what I did was wrong. I never should have gotten involved with Nadine. An apology isn't going to fix anything, I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. I know, Gareth said. But I wanted you to know that I regret it. I've lost everything because of this. My wife left me, my kids won't talk to me, and I lost my job. I felt a flicker of satisfaction at his words. He deserved everything he was going through. Karma's a bitch, isn't it? I said. Yeah, Gareth said. It is. But I also wanted to tell you something else. Something that might help you understand why Nadine did what she did. I hesitated, but curiosity got the better of me again. What is it? I asked. Nadine, she's been going through a lot lately, Gareth said. Her mother is sick and she's been struggling with depression. I'm not saying it excuses what she did, but it might help you understand. I was silent for a moment, processing what Gareth had said. I knew Nadine's mother had been ill, but I hadn't realized how much it was affecting her. And I had no idea she was struggling with depression. Why didn't she tell me? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. I don't know, Gareth said. Maybe she was afraid. Maybe she didn't want to burden you. I hung up the phone, my mind racing. Had I been so caught up in my own life that I had failed to see what Nadine was going through? Had I been so focused on my own needs that I had neglected hers? I didn't know what to think. I still couldn't forgive Nadine for her betrayal, but I couldn't deny that I felt a pang of sympathy for her. She was a flawed human being just like me. And maybe, just maybe, I had played a part in her downfall. A few weeks later, I received a letter from Nadine. It was a long, rambling letter, filled with apologies, explanations, and confessions. She admitted that she had been struggling with depression for years, and that she had turned to Gareth for comfort and support. She said that she regretted her actions, and that she would always love me. I read the letter several times, my heart aching with a mixture of anger, sadness, and regret. I knew that I could never go back to the way things were, but I also knew that I couldn't hold on to the anger and resentment forever. I needed to find a way to move on, to forgive Nadine, not for her sake, but for my own. It's been a year since the divorce. I'm still single and I'm still working on healing. But I'm also learning to forgive, to let go of the past, and to embrace the future. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm determined to face it with an open heart and a renewed sense of hope. And Nadine, I don't know if she's happy, but I hope she is. I hope she's found peace and healing. And I hope that one day, we can both look back on this chapter of our lives with a sense of understanding and forgiveness. The rain has stopped now, and the sun is shining through the clouds. The Space Needle is gleaming in the distance, a symbol of hope and resilience. And as I look out at the city, I know that I, too, will find my way back to the light.